So as you all know by now, we've suspended Draymond for tonight's game. Basketball is an emotional sport. These things happen. We dealt with it in the manner we thought fit, and so we're going to move on. But I know you have questions, and I'll answer them the best I can.
What part of Draymond's behavior crossed a line in your eyes?
I don't want to get into the specifics. I don't think that's fair to him or our team or our organization. But I think the statement, unfortunately, kind of says as much as I'd like to say about it. It was just something we felt like was detrimental to the organization, and that's why we decided to do what we did.
Bob, this is the sorry, down in front. Over here. Sorry. Yeah. That's okay. This is the most harsh punishment that you guys have handed out, I think, since you and Steve and Joe have all been together. What warranted that being the case? And was there a difference? I know you don't want to get into specifics from maybe what happened in 2016 with Steve and Draymond in the locker room in Oklahoma City.
It's a fair question. I think we felt like, you're not going to love my answer, but we just felt like this rose to the level of acting the way we did, and that's a decision we have to make. I'm certainly involved in it, so is Steve, and so that's just the basic, thought on that, which is just this was something we felt like required the action that we decided upon.
How much is Kevin's looming free agency and the fact that he's obviously been kind of non-committal about it just festering in the locker room right now?
I don't think it is. I mean, I'm sure that that's going to be the idea in some people's minds, but I think being around this team and being around these players, I said it on media day, it's hard to win a championship. You can't allow anything else in your locker room, in the narrative, and so this team has done a good job of that. I know it may appear as if it's looked easy over the last however many years. It's not. If you're in our locker room, if you're in an organization, it's hard, and so they'll get through it. And we'll keep moving. And as far as what happens after whatever days, hopefully we get to the finals and win the championship. That's all anybody's thinking about, because I think that's all you can think about. And so that's something we're going to keep doing. This team has proven that they will do that and continue to do that and have done that.
Bob, hi. So you've long supported Draymond's fiery, emotional nature and the way he goes about his job. Steve has done the same. And how do you sort of move forward from this and still allow Draymond to be who he is, the way he plays, and get past this one?
It's life, right? You just move forward through adversity. This is adversity, but we've had adversity before, and we'll have it again. Every team does. We do. I don't know that there's people that think we're a perfect place. We're not. We do our best just like everybody else. And I think it's what you do after these things occur that separates the good organizations. And there's a lot of them out there. That's what we're trying to be. And so how you handle things after they happen is the most important thing.
Hey, Bob, have Kevin and Draymond gotten to the point where they can hash things out, or is that too soon?
I don't know the answer to that. If they haven't talked, I'm sure that they will talk. I know both of them. I know what they want to accomplish this season. Been around both of them, so I'm sure that they'll get to that place because it's really about winning. And they both love to win. They both love to play basketball. And those are powerful things to have in common.
Bob, Draymond obviously hasn't really forgotten his 2016 suspension in the NBA Finals. Is there any concern that he's this is gonna fester with him and be an issue for him going forward, and he's not gonna forget this?
No, I don't. I mean, look, knowing him for however many years I've known him, if caring too much is something that he struggles with, well, that's who he is. So we'll move. We made a decision. We felt like this action merited the decision we made, but I have every confidence that he can move forward with it. Our team can move forward with it. Our organization, our players. Because again, I mean, this is part of the NBA. This is part of what happens. You hit it head on. You make the best decision you can, and you go from there.
Bob, something along the lines of what Connor asked, but before you made this decision, was there any concern that this can cause a divide? Because essentially it was two players, bickering. Maybe one went too far, but was there any concern in looking into that?
I think we make the best decision always that we do at the time, and that's what we did in this decision. And then you trust the people in your organization to move through it. And if you put the right people in an organization, you do move through it. And I think we have the right people here to move through things like this. So at the time, today, we made the decision we made. These things aren't easy, but you make them and you move on, and you trust your ownership, you trust your management, you trust your coaches, you trust your players, that you got the right fabric to move on. Because a lot of you in here have covered the NBA a long time. These things pop up. They do. And you deal with them. It's not the fun part, but it's part of it.
Bob, what was Draymond's reaction when he did get the news that he was going to be suspended?
He was professional. He loves to play basketball. So, he was professional, which is all we can ask of him. I think what probably will be the hardest thing for him is he can't play basketball tonight because he's a basketball player, and that's what is probably most difficult.
Given the players involved, how many people were involved in the decision to suspend him?
We collaborate, Ray, as you know. Steve and I probably the primary decision makers in the organization when something like this occurs, but we make others aware of our thinking on it. And we really don't do anything unilaterally. But as far as the key decision makers on this one, it's Steve and myself.
Bob, is Draymond away from the venue altogether tonight?
Yeah.
Home.
Yes.
Thank you.
Bob, how would you sort of describe Draymond's relationship with Kevin? I mean, he was involved, as I recall, in the recruiting of him, and they've obviously clashed a few times here. But how do they get along, and how would you just sort of describe that dynamic?
I think they have a lot in common. I mean, they both love to win. They both love to play. I think they would play basketball for free. But they're competitive. It's a relationship that wants to do great things together, and they will, and they have. And so I think they've got a sound relationship. But, like I said, in this game, in this sport, one of the best things about sports is it's emotional. And sometimes, it becomes too emotional.
Bob, from a basketball standpoint, did you have a problem with Draymond's decision to bring the ball up court last night?
I don't really care what happens this decision. Basketball, they're going to make right decisions, wrong decisions. I have no problem with what any of the players do. As far as what decision, they're going to make coaches, players, there's 1,000 decisions to make out there. So I don't get into this or that as far as what he should or shouldn't have done.
Bob, what was Kevin's reaction when you told him about the organization's decision?
Kevin will probably do some media tonight, I imagine, so it's best probably to ask him. But when I spoke to him, he was professional as well.
Did he think one quick one, did he think any action was necessary?
He's probably best to just ask him, because I think you'll get a chance to do that. So, but this was an organizational decision, not his decision. It's an organizational decision.